Alexa, accept call.
You received a call from an inmate at the Department of Corrections. This call will be recorded and monitored.
Well, hello. It's nice to hear from you again, Miss Yellow Mellow. How are things? Oh, well, that's not good. So, was it a guard or maybe a volunteer? Or is that an inmate? Okay, okay. All right, back up here, young lady. Back up. An inmate got her cellmate pregnant. Yeah. Oh, now I've heard everything. What? A man? What? Okay. So they put a man in a woman's prison, in a cell with another woman, and then, oh my goodness, what? Oh my goodness, a sex offender. Well, of course, he's going to love being in a female prison, surrounded by potential victims. Well, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, well, who would feel comfortable in something like that? So what's their rationale for doing? He says he's a woman. Well, and so he hasn't been. Oh, so he's there. He's all there, and he walks around propositioning. Oh boy, that does not sound good at all. I can't believe they would stick a man in a woman's prison just because he says he's a woman. And based on your history, you were pretty much assaulted and abused and mistreated by men for quite some time, a big part of your life, and you're in prison for murdering one of them. And so now you're in with the type of person that you despise. It just, wow, unbelievable. So is this woman, is she going to have the child, or are they going to abort the child, or what? Oh, they transferred her, huh? Well, I haven't heard anything on the news. So they must really be keeping it hush-hush. Well, are you gonna say anything? You want to get the word out or something? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's something like this is very delicate. Their privacy and medical stuff like that. But yeah, wow. So do you interact with this person? I mean, is there a possibility? Oh, okay. All right. Well, good. I'm glad you're behaving yourself. Hopefully. So is he actually attacking anybody? Oh. Okay. All right. Well, so it's all voluntary, huh? Has he approached you, asked you to do anything? Okay. Well, maybe he knows your history. Maybe he knows that if he was going to stay there, he's going to have to kind of hide it a little bit or something. But so he only does this with his cellmates, huh? Wow. I did not expect to hear that. That is definitely a shocker.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Okay. Well, looks like I'm going to have to do some research. Why don't you send me his name, his DOC number? I'll do some looking up. Maybe I can tap into some resources and get the word out or something. I don't know. It's just, okay. Yeah. Well, hey, look, I'm proud of you. You're doing really well. Considering you're in a situation that could really
You have 30 seconds remaining.
That could really get hostile. You're doing well. And I don't want to be seeing anything on the news or reading anything that you've attacked this person. We've had that happen before. And you just need to maintain your calm. Talk to people. Talk to your counselor. Talk to health officials. Talk to people. All right? Yes. Good. All right. Keep in contact with me. I'll give you all the support I can. Good. Okay, I'm Joel Wilborn, and welcome to another episode of AQS Inmate Call. We just heard from Melody Vick, commonly known as Yellow Mellow. This young lady was convicted of murder at age 17. She had a male that bought her, and during a little confrontation, she wound up taking his weapon and killing him, and then she was convicted of murder and sentenced to a female prison. Now I find out that she has a male inmate in the prison with her. Now, I looked this person up, and he's listed as a female. So his identity is female. And his social media and his connections, his history, it looks like he identifies as a female. Now, I have no problem with this type of lifestyle. This is America. He can do whatever he wants. And if this is his life, so be it. What I have a problem with is when people abuse the system. Now, you see, that could work either way, because let's face it, the penal system in and of itself is set up pretty well. There's been a lot of people, a lot of professionals, a lot of people with experience that got together and initiated the policies, initiated the proper procedures, the type of staff that they need. They set standards, and they go through great lengths to keep people safe and adhere to the law and what was ordered by the judicial system, let's say. That's not the problem. The problem is the people who don't follow the rules and who use the system to their advantage. Now, you got this man who is a convicted sex offender. He mistreated a 12-year-old girl. And he has been known to conduct himself in inappropriate ways around females. Now, listing him officially on the prison website as a female, I can si the system is respecting his wishes. And out here, outside of prison, if I'm sitting next to a person on a bus and this person is physically a female but identifies as they, I have no problem respecting that. Whenever I refer to them, I will use the they pronoun. And when I talk about them to other people or refer to them, I will use the proper pronoun out of respect. And no matter how the person is physically constructed, that's the wish that should be honored, and there's no reason not to. These people don't deserve to be treated any differently than anybody else. That's their choice. Yet if a person takes advantage of that privilege, let's say, and pretends to be of the other sex, but is physically built the original way, the way they were born, or if they still have desire for the opposite sex. If I'm a rapist and a molester and I abuse women for whatever reason, let's say I just don't like them, and I get caught and I don't want to suppress my desires, I want to continue my spree, it would be very clever to list myself as a female, and especially the way things are going now. 100 years ago, if you have all of the male parts, you go to a male prison. You have all the female parts, you go to a female prison. Now it's different. And I could easily convince people I am not interested in men. I prefer to be in the company of women. And they could say, you attacked all these women and you have a history of being violent. And if we put you with women, you'll continue that. And yet, if I really, really have that desire and I really, really, really want to fool them, I'll say what they want to hear. And if I wind up in a female prison, I'm going to behave myself to a certain extent. Now, this guy walks around and saying, hey, you want me, you like men, you want to be around me. And if the women say, yeah, because they locked away and they just have that desire, or maybe they're just curious, he could secretly run off and then nobody will say anything. They're not going to come out and say, oh, yes, I was with this guy last night, because they could get written up. They could go to the hole, or they can get transferred, or they can have their privileges taken away. So there could be this little advantage that the clever people would have. And I don't think this person is being upfront and honest. And I think he's taking advantage of the system. And the system doesn't really want to fight it because they've got certain privacy issues and certain medical records and stuff that need to be kept secret. Now, don't get me wrong. There are transgender people out there who are not in any way attracted to their same sex. They would rather be associated with the opposite sex. So let's say a woman is attracted to women. She loves to be around women. She loves to associate with women. She wants to be with women, but she wants to be identified as a man. She wants people to treat her as a man. She wants a man's name. She doesn't want to be associated with the female gender anymore. And if you take a person like that and put her in a male prison, she's not going to go after the males in a sexual way. She might attack them because they say something or get angry, and there might be a lot of conflict. They might call her names and stuff. But as far as having any inappropriate action or anything like that, she's more likely to stay within the rules and abide by the standards and the lifestyle of the other people that's in there. And same thing with the male. If he's not attracted to women and he really enjoys being around men, putting him in a male prison wouldn't really benefit anything, because he'd be more likely to sneak out back and find people and do things he shouldn't be doing. And then, if he's really happy and he gets real good at it, he may not even want to ever leave prison. And if he does get out, but sit and served, he may do something and go back again. And I know the prisons and the penal system and the court system, I know they know this. It's just that you're walking a thin line if you go out and find it. And I think they should listen to the cellmates, listen to the other prisoners. If one or two come out and say this person is being inappropriate, I don't know, maybe there's a possibility that they hold a grudge. But if like 6 or 7, or prison guards or prison officials or even visitors just mention that they don't feel very comfortable and something's not right, I think you should look into that. And maybe we should modify the prisons a little bit. But this guy that Yellow Mellow was talking about is in a cell with another female. And it just doesn't seem right. And sex offenders need to be treated differently. We have to look at the crime that was committed. And, this right here just doesn't seem right. And it requires a little bit of research. You got to look into it. You got to see where we need to draw the line. There's crime, and there's social behavior. And we got to know when a criminal is using the system. And it happens a lot of times too. There's people that will seduce guards or the legal team or something to try to get their way. And they'll make the person feel good only just to be using them. That's another thing that we need to watch out for as well. Humans are humans. We think differently than other living creatures. We react in different ways. And we do things with some pretty ill intentions too. You're not going to see a dog that wants to go break into a person's house just to steal something to go out and buy illegal drugs. I don't know. I've never heard of that happening. Maybe it did. But it puts us just a little bit into a different category right there. So I would really, really like people to kind of consider that. When we're talking about all the legal rights and privacy and stuff that we have, we need to bend just a little bit when it comes to something like this. And hopefully Yellow Mellow can rally enough troops behind her to at least give this a second thought. And I'm sure even the prison officials will think back. If we're getting all these complaints and there's a possibility somebody could get hurt, we need to do something different. I'm hoping we can do that. That's what I'm going to try for. But just remember, things like this happen. And it's something you need to keep an eye out for. And it's something that we can't just let slip through the cracks. It just might be one day somebody is going to get killed. We got this baby that's being born in prison now. What's going to happen there? There's consequences. And I'm hoping for the most part, nothing really happens. I'm hoping these people are honest. They're transgender and they want to act their part. They want to do what they're telling people that they want to do. If I'm a male and I prefer to be treated as a female, I should be a female. I shouldn't flip between being a male and being a female. And likewise, a female shouldn't switch between being a female and a male. Just stick with what you choose. When you choose something like this, it means you want people to respect that. And you don't want to confuse the people. Bouncing in and out. I mean, I know there's bisexual people, but, you know, if they go in and say that they're bisexual, and you had to think, well, which prison do you prefer to go to, a male or a female? It doesn't really matter where you send them. They're going to be attracted to the people that they're with. And if they start attacking them, then we need to look elsewhere. I'm just hoping somebody doesn't get killed because we're trying to do the right thing in a situation where you have to do things a little bit different. So let's hope we don't read in the paper and see on the news or hear on social media that somebody was sexually assaulted by a person who just gave transgender people a bad name and can ruin it for everybody. I'd hate for us all to turn on transgender people just because of one bad apple. And if anything, you know, having transgender people and homosexuals and stuff on committees should help easily understand, because I know for a fact a lot of people in that community can identify those who are like them. You know, if a transgender person was on a committee and a name came up, you know, we have this person who wants to go into the female prison. What do you think? And the transgender person says, no, this person's a liar. Then that's something we should consider. And if the other members say, yeah, we agree, this person should be put in the same-sex prison, I would feel a little more comfortable with that. And then that way people won't be abusing the system. As long as they can get away with it, they're going to do it. And I know this is a delicate subject, but it's prison. And it's people's lives, and it's their security that's at stake. So we have to do things differently just for this. You know, don't put it across the board and say all people, the sex that they were born, they have to go to that prison. No. If that's not going to work, we need to consider that. And if the people, you know, give the people a chance to prove themselves. This woman got pregnant, that's an automatic sign that he's not playing the part. He's not being honest. He's using the system. They should see that. Okay, well, there's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in. I enjoyed this little conversation, as one-sided as it is. And hopefully this will spark some communication, you know, open up some dialogue. That's all I'm looking for. I don't want to cause any riots. I don't want to cause any hatred. I don't want to cause anybody to get hurt. I just want to open up a new bit of conversation out there. Something to think about, you know, food for thought. So have yourself a fantastic day and go out and make wonderful memories for tomorrow.